So, welcome to Bonehead. We're actually at our, because these things are done 2 weeks in advance, we're actually at our Halloween party. Right?
Yeah, which is why James is no longer holding spot.
I bought that whole box of Grippos, box of Grippos for this party, and I noticed you've got them.
Chad's intoxicated by alcohol, but I'm intoxicated by the great flavor of Grippos. Sponsor us, please. God, sponsor us. Somebody sponsor us.
Holy cow, that was smart.
Yeah. By the way, welcome to Bonehead.
Welcome to Bonehead.
Welcome to Bonehead.
Anyway,
So,
go ahead.
no, I was
Haley's walking around like
Yeah.
a crazy person. We're actually doing this in the daylight. That's odd, too.
We're day walkers now.
What? Anyway, so this episode is about
time travel.
OMG, they've never done a movie about time travel.
No, they haven't.
They've never done a TV show about time travel.
All it is Stephen Hawking going blah 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 blah.
I don't think he
You
can
have
actually
a
do that.
terrible-
I think
terrible-
he would be. I think it would be.
Actually, he doesn't hit a button either. I mean,
I was gonna say he
do it.
doesn't actually hit a button, Joe. That's insensitive.
Pretty sure we had this conversation.
You've
a minute
had way
ago.
too many drinks to be holding a knife.
he's going
But-
to hurt himself.
You know,
Counterpoint.
what we have to start with every episode is, if you like Bonehead.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
No, which is
because
the-
we do the show.
Which raises the question, what the hell's wrong with you?
Go to the website.
And if you don't like Bonehead,
Go to
when
the
you're
website.
tied up,
Yeah.
being forced to watch it, thank your captor for
Yeah,
it.
you can go to three places: boneheadhumorco.com or boneheadhumor.com.
Boneheadhumor.com would
Thank
be
you,
us.
Haley. You can look at us.
Lick us on. You could lick us on Saturday. You could lick us on Sunday, but not Monday. That's Willie's time.
Don't touch Willie. Good advice.
What other days can they lick us on?
You can look us up on YouTube at Bonehead Humor Co. And you can go to SoundCloud. Did I do it again?
A little bit.
Oh shoot!
You got the
Let me have another drink.
kids. You got the YouTubes. You got all that stuff. Try one of them.
And go to SoundCloud or iTunes and look up Bonehead
If we
Humor.
were playing this in advance, this would be a good time for you to say, this is the episode where we're talking about time travel, like we're in a loop.
Bloop, 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 bloop. I already did that.
Seriously, go to Yahoo.
Go
Specifically.
to Yahoo, and while you're at it, look us up on AOL Messenger.
Try to search for us on Ask Jeeves or Lycos. Is Lycos still a thing?
Like,
What was that? What was the messenger thing back in the late '90s, early 2000s?
ICQ?
ICQ. You can also message us on ICQ.
We are time traveling. This is
Oh my
great.
god. So
Invest in Google.
speaking of time travel, my beard's coming out. The last time
it's gay? Yes, we know.
It totally is. It totally
It is so happy. It has never been happier. Why is Haley walking around? You could come around,
She's trying
Haley.
to get away from us.
Where are you
She
going?
made a wise
She's
choice.
looking for an exit. By the way, there's a girly glass door in there.
There's a girly glass door.
Door, yeah. Well, with your gay beard.
Anyway, let's talk about time travel.
All right.
So there's a ton of movies about time travel, and most of them suck.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yet it keeps getting made because
Why?
of the. Well, I think it's because of the fact that as a humans are basically obsessed with time travel because of the fact that we obsess about the past and we're worried about the future.
Well, that's probably
It's
true.
human
but
nature.
Specifically, the past, I think,
Yes.
even more than the future.
Well, and we always wonder about what we could have done differently. I mean, we have a habit of saying, if I just would have done this, and this could have happened, and this could have happened.
For example, this morning I could have woke up, locked the door.
Oh, I thought you were going to go on the sandwich.
No, I won't. It's a sore subject. We won't talk about the sandwich. Don't ask. I could have locked the door, not let any of you people in, and had a good day.
Aw,
Oh
I'm a delight.
I'm not.
no.
No, you're not.
Can we
all
get
agree.
along in the city?
I do think you're right, though. I think people obsess about the past. I
Yes.
think they think about what it
And
could
also,
have been.
or what is to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you say they're I believe they obsess about the past, but at the same time, I
I
believe they
think
obsess
more
about
about
the
the past
future.
than I do the future.
Most people do, but at the same time, a lot of people go, well, where am I headed? What am I going to be?
Well,
Yeah.
it depends.
Hence, like, when you go to job interviews, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Celebrating the 5th anniversary of you asking me this question. Mitch Hedberg. Look him up.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I think that's why time travel is a constant use of Hollywood, as a means of storytelling.
I think it works in a lot of different fiction. I mean, you can look at H.G. Wells, The Time
Why does that have to
Machine.
be fiction? It could be non-fiction.
Well, actually, you can
You're
do.
non-functioning.
Einstein proved the faster you get to the speed of light, the more E equals mc squared. The faster you get to the speed of light, the more time slows down, right? So if you were at the speed of light, when you came back, you would technically be in the future.
Yeah.
Or, if you go through a black hole. I wanted to see James laugh and he didn't.
Oh, black hole.
Revisiting.
Black hole, sun, won't you come
Haley swaying
and
over
wash away the rain?
there. Somebody give Haley a lighter.
Oh my god!
To her burning us alive.
It's the early
Like,
90s
yeah.
and it's grunge.
So anyway,
what
I
movies
guess the
you wanna talk
topic of, well, we're going to focus on about the time travel.
And we're going to do two-parter. This one's about movies and the next one will be about television.
Yeah.
But I think the other part about time travel is, I think we need to go ahead and say up front, there are some movies that are good, and we'll talk about some of those.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future,
We're
Star
not really-
Trek 4, the one with the whales,
The one with the whales.
is one of the more
That is-
delightful films.
Nobody has taken more advantage of time travel than Star Trek.
Oh, no. The good Star
And
Trek...
butchered it as well.
The
Let's
good-
face it, they butchered it.
The good Star Trek episode, even
Are you going to bring up the one with
episodes-
the Nazis and the
That's
lady
not
from
a
Dynasty?
That's
Sir,
TV.
that's two different ones that you're talking about. See on the Edge of Forever, and you're also talking about the one with the Nazis. It's not a time travel episode. A planet
It's-
has adopted the Nazi because that's how they stabilize their
When
planet.
is... Nah, all right.
Because Earth left.
I thought the one with the lady from Dynasty took place during World War II.
No, it.
Oh
delays-
my God! Can
it
we go
delays-
on to the
It delays
movies?
America's interest. In
I've
World
got
War II
a
because she
party,
passed this.
a Halloween party to have after the show is over.
And we're not invited.
Well, that's true. It's a party.
It's
in my
Joe.
pants.
It's Joe sitting in his room,
Oh.
in his basement alone, with the Michael Myers mask, going, "It's a party, and I'll
a party.
cry if I want to."
It's a party in his pants, so it's a small event.
Oh! See, if you're watching the show, that was a little penis joke.
And if you needed Joe to explain that to you, you're right up our alley.
You really,
Thank you
yeah.
for being
I'm not
a fan.
allowed to tell our viewers to eat bullets
But
anymore.
no, so what is the
Oh my
One,
God!
one viewer doesn't.
Right
It's
on my
not-
toe and the carpet.
suck your toe, you'll get a buzz.
The for various reasons. But no, so going back to time travel,
Yeah.
slowly but surely. The other thing about time travel that we can talk about, we will talk about some movies that aren't terrible. We're going to talk about some that are. But the other part that really works well with time travel is it can be both a very expensive process, or in some cases we're going to talk about a very cheap way to make
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It goes. Time travel can be through a car, through a phone booth, or the lamest part, through your own mind by positive thinking. Tony Robbins. Hey.
Well, and the other part about that though is it's not only that way to make it cheap. That's the way Star
Oh,
Trek.
is that through his mind?
Yeah.
I guess they also do that through.
It's all about, if I think about it enough, I'll go back in time.
What's the time love one I was talking about with Domhnall Gleeson?
Oh, about time?
About Time. That's a really good movie. I really like. Check out Richard Curtis.
Oh yeah.
Love
So-
Actually, About Time.
But the
Radio.
Shaq.
Not Radio, the radio movie.
Hold on,
That's-
Radio Shack.
It's a terrible film.
Love Shack,
I've never been able to buy an
Love
RC
Shack,
car.
baby.
I've got a...
I've got
What
a
time is
Chrysler.
it? How long have we been
Big
going?
as the well.
You're 9.5 minutes in, and we haven't hit the topic yet.
Or have
Have
we?
we? Dun, dun, dun.
It'd
All
be a
right.
cool place
One
for
of
me
you
to
all
also
start with a
listen to.
movie and go ahead.
I'm going to do one, and it is a terrible movie, but it ties into why time travel can be done in a very cheap way, and why for some film companies it's the way it's done, and that's Time Chasers. Now, if you're a
Oh
fan,
my god.
if you're a fan of Mystery Science 3000, you know they made fun of it. And you know the cast, for the most part, were okay with them making fun of it. Some weren't happy about it. But the reason I bring up this movie is we've made short films without a budget they made a long film that involved a plane without a budget. And I was actually reading some of the background behind it. To get the office space they wanted, they mock it on Mystery Science Theater 3000 and say it looks like a library, but it was actually a combination of a museum and an office building, and they just shot it at different angles to make it look like one big office.
I forgot to ask you all questions. My hair look okay?
No.
Okay.
You should
it's
shave
terrible. You ever think about dyeing it purple?
I think you're balding a little bit.
What? You can either be fat or you can be bald. You can't be fat and bald. If you do, just eat a bullet. Keep going.
All right, go get your gun.
You're not fat.
I thought you were supposed to stop telling people to do that. One viewer and we're labeled.
No.
Anyway, the movie cost nothing to make, realistically. The guy that was the main actor also was the stunt coordinator. But the best part about the movie is when they travel to the future. It is.
Do they actually say future?
No, I wish they did. I like to say it that way because it's obviously not the future. All they did was redress people. And like there is a 12-year-old that's in a bright neon puffy jacket and on a cell phone, which is huge, and shades, and it's like, oh, you know, this is the future. And when they go to the future, if you went to the future right now, Chad, what would you do? What would you do? You can go to the future.
Honestly,
what would you check out?
Honestly, my tummy would probably be upset. I'd probably find the nearest toilet.
Okay. Chad's interested in toilets in the future. Joe?
And I hope those 3 seashells don't actually
I would
exist.
cheat. And I mean cheat at life. I don't mean like cheat on my wife. I mean I would cheat. I would, if I could see the future, then I would, you know, the whole Biff thing from Back to the Future Part 2, I would do that.
I don't know if I hope I wouldn't become evil.
I wouldn't
probably
be evil, but
manipulate
I'd make
something.
some money. I don't need to be a billionaire,
It
but I'd
turns
like
out,
to be comfortable. What about
according
you
to
all?
this movie, we're all wrong.
What would
What
you do?
you should do is go to the mall food court. 'Cause that's
Are they going to do that chicken place that hands out the free samples?
of
Oh
the
my
future.
God. Bourbon chicken.
The movie had
That
no
doesn't
budget.
taste like bourbon.
I
And-
don't
and
give
the
a
reason
shit.
It
It's
tastes
bourbon
like a
chicken.
It tastes like a chewy piece
But
of
they
fat
give
on a
you-
toothpick.
But it's free.
And that's
Oh, is it? Is it?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Shut up.
Anyway, the reason
I already hate you in this movie.
The reason I wanted to bring it up, though, is it shows that one way that time travel movies get done
Yes.
is that they're really cheap to do as long as you don't
Showtime.
show real
Or travel.
real things. And the entire plot of the movie is an evil corporation wants to manipulate time travel, and at one point they end up going back to the American Revolution. I don't know. It's not a great movie,
No,
but
it's not.
It does show how time travel can be made cheaply, and that's one of the reasons Hollywood does keep going back to it.
Have you ever seen? Do you think that's the worst time travel movie?
Ooh, there's a buffet of loaves, and I'm a big time travel movie fan. I'm a big time travel in fiction and novels, and I love stories that do it and do it well. That being said, there's a whole buffet of loathsomeness there. And Time Chasers is at least, they were trying.
You know what the worst one is?
What?
Sound of Thunder.
Oh,
It
and that's
stars
based on a
Edward
great
Burns.
idea,
It's
right?
based on a great story by that one guy.
Bradbury?
Ray Bradbury. And it's
Ray
directed.
Bradbury, The Sex Machine.
And the pedigree of it, the director had he did direct a couple of Jean-Claude Van Damme films, but he directed a lot of other things as well. He actually directed
So
2010.
he directed some great Jean-Claude Van Damme films and made some other
He
movies.
directed the best Jean-Claude Van Damme film,
Time Cop.
Time Cop.
Which we're not talking about.
No,
We're not going to talk about
Well,
it, which
because-
is produced by Sam Raimi.
Yes.
But Time Cop also doesn't make much sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't remember.
Well, this
Other than What's His Face is dead.
same.
You touching and-
you can't. It doesn't really hold
Yeah.
up. 'Cause
No.
your cells would change.
And the fact that they're cops and they prevent the past from being changed, and then
Why
he goes back
else
and
would
changes
you
the past.
want to do it? I don't remember the plot to Time Cop. I just remember it's directed by the same guy. Sound of Thunder is a terrible movie starring Edward Burns and Ben Kingsley, with some of the worst CGI.
Sir
What it is?
Ben Kingsley?
I'm talking about Blood Rain Ben Kingsley.
No, he prefers. I've heard it said he prefers to be referred to as Sir Ben Kingsley.
Or Sir Ben, actually. Sir Ben.
I'm sorry.
Sir Ben.
You will refer to him as Sir Ben because
No joke. No
he
joke.
was-
Sir
no,
Ben.
I know because who was it?
There's
so-
several people who've gotten in trouble for it.
Who was it? Sir Anthony Hopkins made fun of him and said it.
Not Sir Judy Dench.
No.
That would be Dame Judi Dench,
No,
and
sorry.
she is a national treasure.
Not our nation, but still a nation.
A nation.
What about Sir Maggie
Under
Smith?
God.
Anyway, that's a terrible movie. If
Yeah.
you get a chance to check it out, some of the worst CGI you'll ever see. And it's basically about people. It's a corporation where you pay to go back in time to hunt and kill a dinosaur, but they have to pick a dinosaur that's almost ready to die, so that it doesn't have the butterfly effect.
Yes.
Where it changes time, and of course a dinosaur gets shot that wasn't supposed to, or whatever. I don't remember the plot. It's a terrible movie.
And then
That T-Rex has high cholesterol. Kill it!
Then Homer comes back to the future and everybody has lizard tongues.
You know what? Basically, it's a Sound of Thunder. That episode of The Simpsons is a Sound of Thunder. Although we're saving those for the TV.
Oh, there's tons of TV. We'll get there, but I agree. I was just making a Simpsons reference because I like
Nobody cares. I'm
All
just
right.
an angry
Matt
person.
Groening cares. I buy merchandise.
So James, what about? I mean, Joe.
I'm Joe.
Joe.
That's James.
That's James.
That's Haley. Me, Chad.
All right. So
That's
ferret
the Stay
face.
Puft Marshmallow Man.
That's Stay
That's
Puft.
the evil ghost in the corner that mocks me.
And there's one of those crazy hookers that follows us that'll make a joke about me looking like the Stay Puft after this episode.
That's not at all true. You don't have a sailor's hat.
I don't have a sailor's hat, and he wears it so well.
So what movie do you want to talk about? Ferret face.
Ferret Face, honestly, one of my favorite ones, and Chad brought this up to me the other day because I thought a lot of them
You mean
happened.
yesterday? Not the other day. That would be yesterday.
They don't know. It's something of disbelief.
Suspension.
That would be it.
We've all had this in school. You should remember it.
My car doesn't have a great one.
You drive a Camry, sir. Just pick another Camry.
A
off
black
the
Camry.
road.
Good luck finding him. Anyway, so one of my favorites is the Time Machine,
Yes.
and
yeah.
not the remake.
By Simon Wells,
Who is a great
son
grandson
of H.G.
G. Wells, right?
Which is why I want to resurrect H.G. Wells, just to have him punch his grandson.
Well, he started out in animation. There's some of those I can't remember but they're
Herbert West started out in reanimation.
Anyway, so Time Machine is a George Powell production. It stars Rod Taylor.
Co-stars Scrooge McDuck.
What is Scrooge McDuck's real name?
I don't know. I just know him as Scrooge McDuck and the guy from and Wilbur.
Yeah, he was Wilbur, and
Wilbur.
yes. So it's a great movie.
And the adopted father of King Arthur in Sword of the Stone.
Yes,
He's in it too.
I love the Time Machine. The remake is bad, and even though I think it's one of those movies that could be remade. It's a timeless
Does it
story.
need to be, though?
I don't know that it needs to be, but I think it's one of those timeless stories. Like It, I think It could be an It. You could do an It for each generation.
Oh, every generation.
Yeah, I think you could do the Time Machine for each generation. I really do. But a lot of the special effects in the Time Machine, the original, still stand up. They look great. A lot of the stop motion stuff looks great.
They're old, but I was thinking about that the other day. I actually caught it on TV at
Right.
American Movie Classics or something, and that Time Machine is still just awesome.
It is amazing.
Like,
Nothing
if
has ever looked like They
even
even brought it on
though
the
it's
Big Bang Theory. They brought it on the Big Bang Theory. They
If
did a whole
I-
episode just around the Time Machine.
If I had a huge mansion and stupid money, I would pay somebody to build me a...
Absolutely.
It's just a cool looking thing.
Absolutely. What were you
I
going
was
to
just gonna say it's completely BS because he could build a time machine, but there's no way he could actually build a chair and upholster it himself. That takes a whole nother skill.
Anyway, out of
Is this how y'all feel when I talk?
I mean, sometimes. The George Powell made some great movies. War of the
what?
Worlds. George
What's his name?
Powell.
Bam!
Pow!
P-A-L, as in not NTS, as in British
I was
Pal.
going to say buddy, but, whatever.
I went in obscure broadcasting that I was trying to get Chad to get on.
Region 1.
Yeah. Anyway, moving right along, I preferred over War of the Worlds, over his version. I mean, War of the Worlds is fun. It's a great movie. But the Time Machine had, I don't know. I love the way that I love what he did with, why can't I think of the people who live
I want to say the LOE or something.
the people
Oh,
on the ground.
the Morlocks.
Morlocks. I love the Morlocks. I love how, you know what? When they did the remake 40 years later, 30 years later on, the Morlocks still looked better than the original.
Oh, yeah.
They still looked better.
They were just albinos in the remake, right?
One of them was the one played by Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, Wells,
Jeremy Irons. This is my breakfast.
Wells, who directed that, the great grandson of H.G., actually got sick during it, and the director of Mouse Hunt. Gore Verbinski actually directed about 20 or 30% of that
Oh,
movie.
really?
Huh.
Gore Verbinski, known for most
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
The good ones.
The good one.
With the first one.
The good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We'll look at all the movies we've made that have
His
made
best
billions.
movie is actually The Weatherman.
No.
I do love The
disagree.
What?
Rango.
Oh, Rango's pretty good.
Rango's amazing.
Rango's
Oh,
pretty
God,
good.
yeah.
I like Weatherman and Rango. Those are my
And
two.
Nicolas Cage is
And
a
then
piece
Mouse
of crap. James agrees with me.
You know
Anyway.
what? I love Nick Cage in The Weatherman is probably one of his best
It really
acting
is.
parts.
Weatherman's really
That
Michael
Leaving Las
Caine,
Vegas?
though, in that movie,
Yep.
Michael Caine wins.
Yeah.
Back to the Time Machine. Check it out. The special effects are great. It's about a guy in the turn of the century who wants to see what's happening in the future. There have been TV versions made of this that are dreadful. There's a big screen remake produced by Spielberg that we're talking about that was directed by his great-grandson, H.G.
Man,
Wells' great-grandson. That's dreadful.
It's
There's
dreadful.
about 10, 20 minutes of that movie that are watchable.
Yeah.
And I thought the casting, what's-his-face in it was a good idea.
Guy Pearce?
Guy
Guy
Pearce.
Pearce.
It's not Guy Pearce's fault. The movie just sucks.
Yeah.
Check it out. Go check it out. If it's on Turner Classic Movies, if you get it. If not, come over to my basement. I'll let you borrow. We'll watch it together. It's a lot of fun.
It really is.
And it still holds up.
Oh, yeah, and speaking about the longing and the purpose of time travel, that movie captures part of it that no other movie, that story.
Yeah.
'Cause you can go back to
H.G.
H.G.
Wells, if you go back to the book, the actual book, it's not the best adaptation as far as being completely to the book. But however, H.G. Wells predicted the atom bomb. He predicted all that crap. He's a soothsayer if you actually look it up.
Yeah, no,
I mean, there's
H.G.
no reason
Wells,
for him to have got that right.
H.G. Wells is spookily talented. He's not the best fiction writer.
Well, no, that would be you.
Um,
I'm joking. He's totally not you.
You're a hack.
Thanks, guys.
We're
I appreciate that.
Three hacks in a fountain, each one seeking happiness.
No, is that some sort of musical?
I have
that,
no idea.
3 coins in a fountain.
that people like him.
Gershwin?
Is it one of those things. One of those.
Bless you.
One of those beard things.
Did you
that he
just say
gets
bless
into.
you? I'm done.
mean
Go on to the
Raskolnikov.
next crappy movie.
All right. Well, if I
Chad.
Go.
They're- this movie, this movie is not crappy. I'm talking about the 1980s My Science Project.
Oh. Well, it's got Dennis Hopper.
Hopper.
in it. Dennis Land of the Dead Hopper. Dennis Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Once
Hopper.
again, once again,
Notice I'm not saying Easy Rider.
And the star of Christine, whose name I can't remember. And the villain from Hackers.
I've actually never seen Hackers.
He also did a documentary about the fact that dolphins are killed in
Oh, is that The Cove?
Short Circuit 2
Oh
where he
my
played
God.
an Indian guy.
Do you remember when Miranda went off about The Cove for like a year on Facebook?
do you think though? And here's my entire thing. And I do believe if you're killing certain dolphins, that's wrong.
You
But
shouldn't do it. I just
shouldn't do it.
asked
No,
if
no,
you
but
remember.
I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing. But also at some point, don't you think at some point there's got to be at least 1 or 2 dolphins that are jerks and deserve it?
Yes.
Like they intentionally, like I'm gonna just ram these human beings and see what happens.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in
I'm
hell.
just saying-
And that knife is way too close.
If
But
dolphins,
the edges broke off of it for your safety.
yeah, that's that. So now it's a jagged edge
Yeah.
knife. What's-
Jagged Edge, Jeff Bridges.
Congratulations. No, so what My Science Project?
It's a movie.
It
Look it up.
is a time travel
Shut
movie.
up, James.
It's about this this guy in high school
Ah,
who is failing all of his classes.
Except for he does a science project, I bet.
yeah, exactly.
oh
He's,
my! Are these the same people that went to summer school?
yes, basically. And so he needs to pass his science class, and he needs to create a great science
Now,
project.
summer school is where they have to save the ski camp from the rich kids, right?
Ski school, and it's where John Candy has to get in a boat race
I
to
thought
save his summer rental.
I thought ski school was where they had to protect that soda made in Western Kentucky.
I'm ignoring both of you. So what it is so he finds an alien device in the desert, and if he attaches it to a car battery,
When I find something in the desert, the first thing I do is, boys, let's hook this up to a car battery.
I
See
know
what
you
it does.
usually do it with dead bodies.
I'm
Keep
just
going.
saying this movie is a classic.
He's a twitcher.
So attaches
That one
it to a
wasn't
car
dead.
battery, and what it does is it creates a time vortex, which allows different entities from the past to come to the future. Or the present, I guess is what it should be.
So-
Even though it takes place in the 80s, so technically now it's the past. Mind blown!
So how does a time vortex, as you said, differ from, let's say, a time tunnel? Is it just less British?
Oh, that's obscure.
Yeah, that's obscure. So obscure I didn't even get it. You'll have to explain it to me later in a Venn
Time
diagram.
Tunnel
So
was
wait,
a porno that James made
So it was so obscure that you
with
didn't
Johnny
get
Time.
it. So it's so obscure you didn't get it.
And Johnny
just
Time
like
had his
relationships
tunnel
with women.
explored.
I was gonna say, did he put a Rolex on his wang doodle?
Rolex on his wing doodle.
Is that the
Episode name.
No, Haley's shaking her
Rolex.
head.
I
no.
don't give a damn.
You know the
Okay,
only thing that would
try.
make that better, the tasty flavor of Grippos
With
in
an
a box.
Arnold Palmer.
So anyway, the part of the time travel episode,
Yeah, they sell them in boxes, folks. No shit.
and the other next movie I'm going to bring up is the fact that how some movies just get time travel completely wrong, because what this movie does is it brings figures from the past, and they basically kill every one of them. Like there's a soldier from ancient Greece who they kill dead, a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
They kill him. They kill him dead.
And Dennis Hopper,
That's not redundant.
at some point
He's
in
only
time,
mostly dead.
at some point in time, by the way, spoilers, if you want to watch my science project, by the way, watch my science project. It is fantastic.
Is it?
Yes, it really is. It still holds up. It really doesn't, but I say it does.
Who are you whispering
I
to?
don't know. Trump.
Joe, screw that. Chad has a direct connection to Trump.
So anyway, but you know the fact
His
that
penis.
but the fact that Dad
He calls it the umbilicus.
Obscure.
Haley's laughing.
You're gonna tweet.
Dennis Hopper, you know, he spends the majority of the movie sucked in a vortex in the 60s, and he comes back. The fact that he may have altered something in the past that has now been completely destroyed. The movie never focuses on that, and that's what I hate about a movie that deals with time travel that doesn't focus on that. About the fact
That
that
doesn't deal with time travel.
yeah, that doesn't deal with time travel, doesn't deal with the effects. Oh, we kill all these people from the past, and everything's still fine at the end.
Okay.
Which I'll bring up.
What
in my
year did
next
that
movie.
come out?
1980.
Was it 85,
86 or
86?
87.
80 there, because there's about 2 years with Dennis Hopper there, where not only did he do Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, he did Blue Velvet, which was almost an Academy Award performance. It is.
Oh, mommy. Yeah, that's
Yes,
no.
it is.
No.
I don't give a shit what you think. It totally is.
Is this going to end up with you all arguing about Dances with Wolves somehow? Because I don't need that. in my life.
Dances with Wolves is
1985.
probably overrated.
1985. I was off by a year. What's the next movie? Because I don't think we ever actually got to the point of my science project.
Is there a point?
Did you have? I thought it was basically they kill a bunch of people in time and don't deal with the consequences.
Oh yeah, we did talk about it. Good job, Chad.
I actually came up with another one and now I blanked on it. But you know, actually, it just popped in my head. There's a bunch of movies that deal with time travel in different ways, and I was saying about like Frequency.
Oh yeah, Frequency's a good movie.
Frequency deals with the fact that
That's
you
what we
can
call
send
a
signal.
good Dennis Quaid movie.
Yeah.
Can I give you an example of a bad Dennis Quaid?
Oh
Well,
my
hold
God,
on,
I knew
hold
this
on.
would.
You only can if you can name me 4 good Randy Quaid movies.
Are you serious?
Yeah, okay. I can do it. A National Lampoon's Vacation,
Okay.
Christmas Vacation. I actually I will defend Independence Day
Okay, yeah, I'll give you
and The
that.
Paper.
Paper's so good.
Okay, yeah, he got me. Go ahead, go give me your bad Dennis Quaid.
Dragonheart,
Dragonheart.
Jaws 3.
Um,
Actually, Jaws 3 is probably better than Dragonheart.
Dragonheart is a better book than the movie.
Oh yeah, well I don't know. Chuck Pogue, he won't give me the time of day, so
Really?
he lives
He's
in
the
Georgetown.
nicest guy.
Yeah, that's
He likes James too. I don't know.
Maybe it's you.
I think it is. I think he is. I think
I think,
he's a writer. In a little,
I think
Randy Quaid, we forgot about, Brokeback Mountain.
oh, Brokeback Mountain and The Last Picture Show and
Yeah.
Texasville, the sequel to that, are both good movies.
And, God bless it, we forgot about Kingpin.
That's 8.
Okay.
We more than doubled your
I'm
bet.
sorry.
Suck it. You don't know you're Randy
I'm
Quaid.
sorry. Is he really in Blade House of Cthulhu? Is that
Yeah.
real?
Oh my God, we forgot about the Ice Harvest.
Oh, 10, 9. 42.
8675309.
Damn you, Tommy. Two-tone.
So frequency wasn't what I was originally going to talk about, but I think you could actually look at it.
And how dare you not bring up the Adventures of Pluto Nash?
Oh, that's not a good movie.
Oh, screw you all! It's a classic.
Oh my God, you're giving me crap for defending Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet, and you're bringing up Pluto Nash.
Had a higher, bigger budget.
I prefer the.
Well, yeah, but it probably made less money.
Had Andy Dick.
I prefer.
You just have the dick.
So
That didn't even make
I
sense.
tell you. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this at the top of the episode. We are drunk.
We are
I'm
not drunk.
not.
We have not been drinking.
I've had an Arnold
I have
Palmer.
not been drinking.
This has no alcohol.
Not
in it.
one
Chance
little-
of Lush.
Not until some alcohol sponsor starts to sponsor us. I haven't had a drink. Keep going.
James, what's the next movie?
I was talking about Frequency, and then you all got off on
Frequency's a good movie, so he's talking to his dead dad.
Yeah, and they did the TV show, which got canceled very quickly.
Yes.
Well,
But
the conversation was over.
Yeah.
Love you too. All right, we got that all worked out.
I think
Hey, who won the 1984 World Series?
oh my God, I think though but that gets into this entire weird subgenre of time travel films where they don't travel, but they do things. What's the one with the mailbox and Keanu Reeves?
Oh,
Paper.
the Lake House.
The Lake House.
It is the Lake House.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny
The only reason he brought that up is because I talked about it earlier.
I'm sorry. Knock knock.
2 episodes in a
No,
row
hold
he's
on. No,
stolen from me.
catch me if you can. Knock knock.
Anyway, so that's one of the things about time travel films that we're
Haley's bored. Keep going.
we're focused. I think it's because we have just schnookered. But there's an entire subgenre of time travel films that don't have anything to do with people time traveling, just with.
No matter how much.
Are we going to
how
talk about the
far-
fact that cows can secretly time travel?
Cows can time travel?
Is that what you're going at?
This hamburger tastes old.
Egyptian.
Walk like.
So, are you done with Frequency?
Well, no, I was just saying about Frequency, the Lake House, the entire thing about people can't time travel, but somehow
I can't believe we brought up the Lake House. I want to hurt you because you brought up that
May
movie.
I say that we did not? He mentioned it and you knew the name.
Yeah, because I was just going with Keanu Reeves.
60%.
Actually,
or
and I didn't
50%
even-
of Bonehead.
It's Diane
50%.
Lane, right? Diane
Haley?
Lane?
Hey, I don't know. I'm not talking. Although she may very well be at 9.
Joe not talking. Oh God, it's the apocalypse.
I still don't know where Haley found the promo material. That's being quiet.
She edited
That was
it.
doctored footage.
Doctored footage. You were behind the Kennedy assassination all along.
Speaking of which, though, there's
Which is
another
another
time
good
travel film.
time travel book, 1963 by Stephen King.
Well, that's the book. We'll get to those later.
That's
But
not the name of the book, by the way. You
what's
idiot.
the time travel film that's based on an actual advertisement? Safety Not Guaranteed?
Oh.
I've never seen it.
Safety Not Guaranteed. If anybody's never heard of it, Safety Not Guaranteed is it's true story.
It's not about. It's about. It's directed by the guy that directed Jurassic World, right?
Yes, and the true story of
The dude just got kicked out of Star Wars.
the true story about it. Yeah,
True
I don't
story.
think he's hurting for money.
For
He'll be okay.
being a jackass.
Well, that's the story. You weren't there. You don't know.
For
Unless
all-
you traveled in time.
For all you know, Ron Howard actually just went in and punched everybody. In the
That's a totally different
I
Star
know.
Wars movie.
I'm just saying, you don't know what happens in Star Wars land.
This episode has gone off the rails.
No, I'm trying to talk about Safety Not Guaranteed. Safety Not Guaranteed. The premise of it is they fictionalized
you actually seen it?
Yes,
Oh.
they fictionalized it. But the true part about it is there was an actual advertisement ran in a newspaper that said, looking for 5 people, something like that, looking for a number of people
Never
who
seen
want
it.
to travel through time. This is not a joke. Safety Not Guaranteed.
Oh, what's the one that's actually?
So check it out if you've never heard of it, because they use that as the starting premise, which is true, and then they made a movie out of it. It's kind of
That's
entertaining.
not a bad. What's the one that was made really low budget? And it's about these 2 engineers and they build a time traveling
Oh,
ball.
Hawk Jones.
Huh?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Did you say Huck
I
Jones?
said Hawk Jones.
No, you know what? I've actually seen it. Oh, what's it called? The guy made a sequel to it too. Anyway, well, it leads me to my next movie, Looper. And Ryan Johnson actually had that guy on to go over his time travel thing. The thing I love about Looper, a lot of people I don't think have seen Looper. Go out and see. It's got Bruce Willis and the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, that
Levitt.
guy.
Levitt.
Robin.
Ryan Johnson is
Oh.
a great director.
No, James.
I knew I'd
No.
get Jake going. I knew I'd
God.
get him.
God. No.
He's the best Robin that's ever been on
You son of a
Top
bitch.
Celluloid.
You know what? The best Robin probably is
Burt Ward?
Burt Ward.
Burt Ward, yeah.
I gotta look up
That ain't saying much.
I gotta
Holy
look up the
rusted
guy who
metal.
voiced Robin in the animated series.
Nobody.
That, it was actually Robin.
Why do you both have your phones on? We're
I'm
taping
trying to
the
find your
show.
time travel film title.
Anyway,
'cause that'll be
Looper.
nuts.
Ryan Johnson is now finishing up the last
Primer.
Jedi.
I bet it was called Primer.
It's called Primer.
Thank you, Haley.
So check it out. Primer's great. Ryan Johnson made a movie called Looper. If you haven't seen his previous films, Brick and
House! She's mighty, mighty. Let it all hang out.
The Brothers Bloom.
It took me a second to catch what he did.
The Brothers Bloom. Check it out. Ryan Johnson made a movie called Looper. And basically what it is that in the future,
Lauren Lester, the best Robin.
you can go ahead and kill somebody, and then you can kill a bunch of people, and then they pay you, and then
Burt Ward
eventually
can kiss my ass.
they finish your loop by killing that killer later on. They send them back in time, and they're shot, right?
Yeah.
And that ends their loop. And you should try to check down Looper.
It
but
really is.
it's really a good movie.
It's great.
Bruce Willis, I think Ryan Johnson handled it the best because Bruce Willis is sitting talking to his younger self, who's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and they're talking about time travel, and he actually just says, "I don't want to talk about time travel." And I think, yeah, shut the hell up, because there's no way really to explain it.
No.
So
No.
just do that. Just
Well,
shut everybody up.
And that's it. When you actually do...
Like Back to the Future, notice we haven't brought up Back to the Future. We're
Because that's
trying
an
not
American
to.
classic, and I'll kill you all.
We're trying not to poo-poo on, and it's easy. It's an
prefer
easy one.
Eric Stoltz.
Who is in a
The
time
Mask.
travel film called
Fly 2.
The Butterfly Effect.
Oh,
Is he in that?
He plays the pedophile.
good God, I don't remember that movie at all. Other than Ethan Suplee playing a goth guy, which made no sense.
Anyway, go ahead. Looper, check it out. If you haven't seen it, you suck.
But no, what I was saying is, I think you're right. When it comes to actually talking about time travel, I love time travel films. Like I said, I love it in fiction. The ones that do it the best are the ones that give it something so fantastic, like... But Back to the Future actually does it well. This is a flux capacitor. It's a secret to how time travel happens. Now, we don't know anything about that. Let's just move on.
Yeah, and they kind of show it, and you look,
Yeah.
oh, well, all right, and you
Yeah.
buy into it. No, they put it in the middle of a stainless steel DeLorean.
And it's
we're
because
done.
the stainless... And there's one
Yeah, they
line
even
about
explain it.
the stainless steel helps with...
Yeah. And
And if
it
you
says-
throw a banana peel in, you can go right.
That's only in at the end of the first one.
and you can't change it. You can't
Yeah.
change the future, otherwise it starts problems.
So I think that's time travel in general, and I think, and it's not a great film. It was savaged by critics, but it made money, so they made a sequel, which nobody saw. Butterfly Effect is an example. But actually, what Looper does well is
I
something.
don't remember disliking the Butterfly Effect.
It's
Chad's
not
been
bad.
shitting on it for 2 days.
It's not
Bad.
bad.
Ashton Kutcher. That's why.
Well, yeah, but the story isn't bad. Basically, if you've never seen the Butterfly Effect, the casting, I will admit, is questionable. That would have actually been a role maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt should have done. But
Joseph
basically
Gordon-Levitt.
the character, the main character that Ashton Kutcher plays, has had a series of traumatic events, and he finds that if he sees photos from a certain time period, he can travel back and actually inhabit his younger self. So he was a victim of a pedophile. He and his romantic interests were both victims, and he travels back and stops that, but that causes in the future he somehow gets injured, and all this stuff keeps happening, so he keeps going back. And the reason I wanted to bring it up, as we talked about before we started, was the original ending is a very Hollywood ending. It's not the ending the director wanted. Is he fixes everything. He has a vague memory, of course, of changing anything. And as he's walking out of a building, he sees his romantic interest. They don't get together because he's made her life better, and he sees her, and there's a look of acknowledgement that they feel like they kind of know each other, but they just walk on. The original director's ending involves he realizes that he's at fault of everything. Nobody would have been a victim. Nobody would have, and he pulls a reverse Christmas Carol, which has some time travel elements.
I know it's Robert Zemeckis said it is Chad and I were talking about this yesterday. Robert Zemeckis said A Christmas Carol was the most or the best time travel story of all time.
But
Not It's a
anyway,
Wonderful Life, though.
he travels back in time in the original director's ending,
Christmas episode.
and he kills himself.
Boop.
He kills himself.
And with
in the
his
womb.
umbilical cord in the womb.
In the womb, he uses it and kills himself. And actually, the original ending was much darker because the only reason he realizes he has to do that is they're getting ready to pretty much lobotomize him.
Yeah.
And he knows that once he's lobotomized, he doesn't have the ability to leap anymore.
Yeah.
And he hopes beyond hope that his next leap
We'll be
leave
Ziggy.
home.
We'll be Ziggy.
Which, by the way, we'll talk about.
we'll
in the
talk
next
about when we do TV.
and about how they screwed that up.
On
How
the
did
ending,
they-
we'll talk about that ending.
I don't
episode.
remember the ending. That's okay. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk
next
about
time.
it later. But anyway, so Butterfly Effect. I will admit, I watched it. I enjoyed the film. I do think it's oddly cast.
I like the movie too.
It did only cost $12 million to make, and it
Which
made
is a big budget now.
$8 million of which was Ashton Kutcher.
it was one of his first. Please get me away from that '70s shows paycheck.
What, dude? Where's
Where's
my movie?
Anyway,
Dude, where's my check?
pay me. But anyway, so I think that's another one. So I mean, I think that actually gets to one issue Hollywood does have with time travel is it does always tend to want it to end happily, and I think anytime those rare movies where it doesn't, and before we stop talking about time travel movies, you mentioned the Time Machine. Time and time again.
Oh yes, time
and time again has to be mentioned.
Time after
Jack
time.
the Ripper steals
H.G.
Wells' Time Machine and goes
Time after time, by the way. It's not time and time.
No,
again.
time and time again is a
Well,
TV
I
show.
will say
Time
that
after time.
Time
sorry.
after time.
I
They
said
had to
time
proceed.
after time 5
Time
minutes ago.
after time. I
Did
don't
you
know
really?
any more.
Yes, nobody pays attention to me.
What did you
would
say?
something sensible.
Time after time is a great one.
Time after time. If
It's
you-
got the
Chase
great
his
David
tight butt
Warner
cheeks.
and Malcolm McDowell,
Malcolm
Mary
McDowell.
Steenburgen. It's written and directed by
Nick.
Nick. Made the greatest Star Trek movie of all
Call
time.
him Nick.
Wrath of Khan. Why can't I think of Nick's last name?
Nicholas Meyer?
Nicholas Meyer.
Nicky.
Boom.
Nicky Meyer.
Oh, Nicky
Um,
Meyer's boy.
Anyway, no.
She likes Smarties, but she knows her shit.
Which is why she
Smarties.
despises all of us.
Suck.
Anyway, but
Sorry.
yeah, time after time. Yes.
Time after time
After
is
Time
a really good.
is,
Yes.
and most people haven't
It's a
seen
little dated.
It's a little dated.
It's a little dated.
But that
I watched it
concept,
last year.
that concept is so much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Instead of H.G. Wells isn't just making up. He actually has a time machine, and then it gets stolen by Jack the Ripper, and he has to deal with that.
Yeah.
I think that there's something cool about that storyline to me. Probably because I'm an English geek, and I love to read and stuff like that. But just the first time I heard about
likes
that
to
movie,
read C-Spot, bro.
well,
I'm educated.
at least
These hams and eggs should not be green.
Somebody should call the FDA.
Yay.
Dr. Seuss has a history of
The
racism.
FDA took his baby away.
A dingo ate my baby.
The FDA took my baby away. Sorry.
I don't think the FDA has anything to do with time travel. Or is it all a clever cover and that's what they do?
That is what they do. Are you done?
The Federal Bureau.
What's your last movie?
Mine?
Yes.
Oh, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Never heard of it.
Really?
George Carlin?
It
Never
is
heard
the
of
only. Hold on, let me go ahead and get Joe going. It's the only good thing anybody with the name Matheson has ever done.
Oh, R.C. wrote that, right?
Yeah, his son. Yeah,
Sorry,
Christian.
I think Richard Christian, they call him
Yeah.
R.C.
Yeah, Richard Christian Matheson wrote it. If you don't-
Hooper told me.
If you don't know,
Well, he told me in a documentary.
by the way, it's what Toby Hooper told him last week. Joe's been playing with that Ouija board again.
Oh my God, I'm communing with the dead.
Hey, by the way, the dead just keep saying, "Please stop."
Please stop.
But
I don't have time to watch your dumbass YouTube videos.
But yes, no,
I'm
go
on a
ahead.
cloud trying to get a harp lesson.
From the devil, it's really confusing up here.
Yeah, R.C. Matheson, Richard Christian
Richard
Matheson.
Christian,
It was originally, wasn't a phone booth, right? It was originally supposed to take place in a van.
Yeah, it was going to be more or less implied that it was going to be kind of a Cheech and Chong style van, and then
Right?
Yep,
And it was just too close to Back to
it
the
was
Future.
too close to Back to the Future.
How did they decide on a phone booth?
That makes more sense because you can dial in the...
You can dial in. Plus, to be honest, quite frankly, at the time, outside of extreme nerds, most people didn't know about Doctor Who in the U.S. I mean,
That's true.
I did because I am an extreme nerd. But I mean, it was
He drank Mountain Dew when he was nerding out.
I also like extreme rice. Extreme. Go ahead.
I don't even know what that meant.
It's a joke for Mystery Science.
You're the only one who has not drank alcohol.
I don't have to.
I haven't
hold
drank
on.
a thing and won't drink a thing until somebody sponsors us.
Hold on. Let me do a 1980s PSA.
Joe drinks.
Let me. Hold on, I'm trying to do a 1980 PSA.
If they'll give us money.
Let me do a 1980 style public service announcement. See if we can get some of that good federal money. Chad, I don't think I need to drink to have a good time. I'm high on life.
Clearly, you're a loser.
I'm out.
Anyway,
when we wrap this up, I'm totally getting another one.
excellent adventure.
Yeah. Just again, it's just another
It's
one
not
of
to
those
be
episodes.
confused with a bogus journey.
I love,
Which in some ways is a better movie.
it's a better movie. It is a
I
better
do
movie.
love though, and I think actually, can I just say because I'm a big fan of Back to the Future and
Never heard
Bill
of
and
it.
Ted. Those are like, I as a kid I loved both those movies. I rewatched them. I actually introduced my kids to those, and I realized
The
something.
two little heathens were down here earlier knocking things down.
Tying your cat up.
Tying the cat up.
I introduced the third one too, but I had to take the TV up to the attic and.
Did you just flowers in the attic? Really?
No.
His kids
Anyway.
are having sex. Keep going.
So anyway, Bill and Ted's. If you haven't seen it,
Bill and
please-
Ted's.
please watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Please
There's more
watch
than
it.
one Ted.
And Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They're two really good movies. But at the
Haley's
same
laughing.
time, I don't think they handled the time travel aspect of the movie very well.
I do love the fact, you talked about how they never, whatever movie you talked about earlier that I'm blanking on.
My Science
Project, about how they kill people, it never has any repercussions.
Yes.
Bill and Ted, I was saying about this, does the exact same thing except in reverse. We were going to bring Abraham Lincoln to modern day San Diego,
Exactly.
California. Then we're going to drop him off, and he's never going to tell anybody about what's going to happen.
Or he's not going to look up in the history books and say, "Now what happened in 1960? What the hell?
I'm going to go to the matinee instead.
American cousin my ass."
But also the fact that
For you history people.
and
That's
again,
American-
this
my
is where
American
this is
cousin.
where the
My American
time
cousin.
travel paradox comes into play with in terms of movies about the fact that they brought Abraham Lincoln from the past to
Into
the
the
future,
future.
and then when they get back, nothing's changed because hey, we took him away before the Civil War ended.
One thing I do love about that, one of my favorite scenes I was watching with the kids though, is when they're in the jail and they're going to be, and they have to get, and it's like, make sure that we remember to put this trash can here to drop on him. What if we forget? We can't have forgotten because it already happened.
Oh yeah, I
They
forgot
do
about
the
this.
same thing in Bogus Journey where
Yeah.
they leave the key outside,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. But I love that because that's the type of stuff that I would do if I had a time machine. Note to self: time travel to get milk that I forgot to get last week.
But
Done.
And like I said, I mean, they brought some of the key historical figures in all of
Let's
history:
see, Abraham Lincoln.
Genghis Khan,
Genghis
Khan.
Joan of Arc, Napoleon.
Yeah.
That's some good ice cream.
Napoleon eats the Piggy Wiggy.
And the least important person, Beethoven. Because
You're forgetting Socrates.
I know I haven't.
You're
forgot-
forgetting Freud.
Frood.
I forgot. Honestly, I wasn't gonna bring up Socrates, but I forgot about Freud.
Frood.
Freud.
Freud, dude.
Whatever.
The best part
I'm
about
all down and twisted in my mind because I want to sleep with my mama. Freud.
the best.
You're not quoting Freud.
That is totally Freud.
You're
Look
quoting.
up-
You're quoting everybody when
We
it comes to your
just-
book.
Look up his book. I got stuff on my brain that messed up, Jack.
Look up his book. I sure want to make you late mom.
The funny part about that though, the reason
I want to sex you up.
the reason I do love those films though is they are meant to be fun. They are meant to be
they're
comedies.
complete-
But I do
Napoleon in a water park. I
love
mean,
at the Waterloo. He's
The
at Waterloo.
Waterloo.
He goes to Waterloo.
Couldn't escape if I wanted to.
That's for you ABBA fans. No, what I was
We
going to say
sing a
though.
lot now.
What I want to say, we're this close to being Bonehead the musical, and with your funding, we will become Bonehead. What I was going to say though, the other
step by step. Ooh, baby.
I'm
How
leaving.
do
Hold on. I'm
To you,
leaving.
girl.
Haley doesn't get into this.
That's because she's thinking step by step. That's a show.
I'm
on
leaving this group.
on that family friendly.
I'm going
Fridays.
solo. I'm pulling a Timberlake. I'm going to be like Gwen Stefani and leave no doubt.
You're going to go solo, but it's going to be much more. Who was the loser that went solo?
Han, don't you dare say that.
David Caruso.
You're going DJ Caruso on us. DJ Caruso's actually the director.
Yeah. What I was going to say, though, is what I do love about the Bill and Ted films, once you include Bogus Journey, is when they add Station for no apparent reason, and he's like this alien, brilliant genius, but they never give him any backstory. It's just, and all he ever says is Station. And it's like, you have time travel, you have now been to heaven and hell, and what do you do when you get back? We're still going to go ahead and form this band. I've been to heaven, I've been to hell.
The Wild Stallions.
The Wild Stallions. And if they ever do follow through on the third movie, which allegedly is going to happen, I'm actually interested in seeing that because
I want to see John Wick 3 first.
It deals with the fact that if you...
I want to see Freak 2.
The gestalt of the film is that George Carlin travels
And what
back.
is gestalt for our Canadian dog butters?
Canadian sodium.
The gestalt of is that they will eventually...
pour it on waffles.
Do they have Canadian waffles?
They're just called waffles.
No.
No, anyway.
They're called
Belgian
bread.
waffles.
George Carlin.
I love these waffles with turkey in between.
And I was going to say, actually, the original script had them also bringing random other people, too. And most of them were actually, they're going to bring like a peasant and talk about the strife of peasants, but it just made the film too serious.
I know, she keeps letting us know that we're running out of time.
What I wanted to get to was...
Oh my God, you're an hour? James was almost 2 hours late today for the taping, correct?
Yes.
Almost 2 hours.
I
and
love
now
you,
he's
but you
still
were.
going.
Or was I time traveling?
No, you were
You were 2 hours late.
Almost said something else.
I felt as if I was on
You could have
time.
at least said a raven going, I ain't going to be here. But you didn't.
I
Yeah.
tried to,
Why
and
didn't
it
you
just
give
kept
us-
sitting there going, nevermore! And I was like, no, Bird, you need to go to Chad and Joe and say I'll be late. Nevermore! Shut up! Anyway, if they do the third movie, it's supposed to deal with the fact that they're now in their 40s, and they still haven't created world peace, because that's what the film was supposed to be about.
Yes.
Their music was supposed to unite the
Yes,
entire world.
Wild Stallions.
And they are at this point, and that's what's... So it could I'm interested in seeing it.
Chad is playing with my hand.
I
I think
want
it's time
to-
to end this episode.
I want to see if Rufus
I wish we
comes
could
back.
go back in time. No, not unless they can go back in time. Why are you jerking off my pinky?
I'm waiting for
Do you
something to
think,
come.
do you think since George Carlin played Rufus is dead, they'll just get Ringo Starr? Isn't that what happened on that train show? That PBS?
No, that's a
Yeah.
porn.
No,
Train porn.
Who all
It
played?
went from Ringo to Alec Baldwin.
To George Carlin. Mr. Conductor.
Oh, George Carlin.
George Carlin was George Carlin first, or was it Ringo? Then
I
George
think it was
Carlin?
George Carlin.
'Cause Alec
Ringo,
Baldwin was the
Alec
last one.
Baldwin, yeah.
And they're all Mr. Conductor, right?
Mr. Conductor. He's gonna run a train on you. Good night, everybody.
And for that, you've been to our Bonehead.
Nobody asked what his first name was. It was Incompetent.
Shining Time Station ain't
I was
ran
going to
well.
say poor.
Oh, so he doesn't have a lot of electrics.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a poor
Anyway,
conductor.
that's been Bonehead. Thank you so
Lame.
much. Please check out boneheadhumor.com. Please go to our website. Please go to YouTube and iTunes and
What
rate
is our
us.
website? Go to our website.
Bonehead Humor.
I did Bonehead. Yeah, I said it right beforehand.
I don't listen to
Why
you.
don't you drink some more? And please, if you've seen any of our stuff, rate it, like it, do all that stuff. Our short film Murder Virgin, it still doesn't have enough reviews on IMDb to be rated, and it requires 5. And we know that 700 people have seen this between film festivals,
Yeah,
online,
probably, yeah.
the online film festival we were part of, over 700
If we got
people see it.
$1 a piece, that would be $700, and it still wouldn't pay for the budget of Murder Virgin.
And this is what we're hearing.
And all I want you to do, I don't care if you give it a 1, I just wish on our IMDb page it would be like, none of this is rated enough for you.
Please
to
write derivative.
insist upon itself.
It insists upon itself.
We're
We don't
fine
care.
with that. I would just like to have 5 people actually rate it on
Please.
IMDb.
Please do that. Thank you so much. This is Joe. Nut Butter.
Arnold Palmer.
And Haley behind the cameras. This has been Bonehead. Peace out. We're going to time travel into the TV. Into the TV?
We eventually, by the way, need to time travel and finish Stephen King. Anyway, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah. Toodles.
You see here the soul's coming off of the bottom of it, whatever.
You ain't got no soul.
Dang it.
I'm the
Saw
soul
that
man.
coming. you
That
you
was
will
a-
never be C. Thomas Owl.
See, I was going to automatically go with, you're not Dan Aykroyd.
Joe, what you doing with that knife, Joe?
Huh?
What you doing with that knife, Joe?
I'm-
Where you going with that knife in your hand? Gonna stab his old lady.
It's our Halloween party. We get to watch one Halloween movie.
I know. Can we get this done so I can go back to fun? Remember when we used to think podcasting was fun?